Welcome to the Golden Square Podcast with your hosts, Linda Scott and Sharilyn Fisher. Are you ready? Because we're starting now.
Hey. So welcome to the Golden Square Podcast.
I'm so excited for tonight's show.
Oh my God. So
So
I
excited.
Sharilyn, why do you have, is that a pink shirt? Because I have on a pink shirt too.
And I have a pink earring.
And, okay, so
You
great
know we live
minds
across
think of
the
that.
street,
Okay,
so
all
I
right,
keep
so
peeking in my window. She
okay,
keep peeking in my
that
window.
didn't happen, y'all. But anyway, so how was your day today?
I had a wonderful day today. Wonderful day
Great.
today. I am officially
Mm-hmm.
a substitute teacher for Fort Bend ISD. So
Oh,
that happened today, and I'm super excited. And I can't
okay.
wait.
So are you gonna work a lot or?
I don't know. I officially closed Cuckoo's Treasure September 30th, 2024. So everything has its seasons and everything has its time. It was time for me to do something different and to move on. So my new journey is going to be substituting, start off substituting for the school district. And I don't know if I want to make that a permanent transition, but we will see.
Yeah, I think you will.
Yeah,
'cause-
y'all know I love children.
Yeah,
Children are my passion. So
yeah, I
we
know
will
you
see.
will.
We will
That's
see.
it.
We will see.
So, we have not a whole lot of time, and we might go over just a little bit. So, if our producer would bring in our guests, and y'all, we don't have just one guest, we have multiple because everybody has their views. Everybody is ready to vote and make sure all their family and friends are ready. So, if the producer would bring our guests in, let's go ahead and get this party started.
Get started. Well, hello, everybody.
Hey,
Hello.
hey.
Everybody.
Y'all, we ready to get started. We ready to get started. But before we could do that, we want each one of you to just do a little brief, like I said, brief introduction of yourself so that our viewers and your viewers who already know you, but our new viewers would know who you are. Please. Let's start with you, Jason.
Since you're the only guy there, let's start with you.
Well, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be a part of this roundtable. And my name is Jason Dawkins. I am ecstatic about the idea of voting. Voting is not a joke. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Okay, great.
Bridget.
Hi, I am Bridget Sandlin. I am an event planner and I am very, very concerned about what's about to happen in this country with this upcoming election. So I want to be a part of making sure that everybody understand the importance of going out to vote and why.
Okay. Hilda.
I'm Hilda Micklethwaite, and I think it's critical we vote in this year's election. I'm really excited to be part of this. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Looking forward to chatting to you and listening to other views.
Okay. And we have the most beautiful Starr. How are you, girl?
Hi, Starr.
I'm great. I'm super excited to be a part of this show, because election time is really, really important. And I'm just very excited to speak on it and also to hear what everyone has to say and put our ideas together because great minds think alike.
Okay.
And, I'm ready.
Okay, well, let's get this party started. I could only start by saying everybody know the number 45 makes me throw up. Let me put it that way. Let's start out like that.
Yeah.
Let me just keep it real. I'm here to keep it real. And I was looking at some things and I was going through some of my fact finding and I thought it was very important that we start off by saying, are you registered to vote? And if the answer is yes, then the next question would follow, are you active? Because they're over, and Sharilyn and I and our guest last week stated there in Texas alone, there's 1 million plus people who think they are ready to vote and they can go in and punch in and they're going to get there and go, oh, what you mean I can't vote? And it's going to be too late. We won't be able to fix it. So are you ready to vote? Yes. But are you active?
So www.vote.com and check your status. Make sure you are registered to vote.
Yes.
Now, if it shows that you're not, don't panic. It's an
Right.
easy fix. Just register. Just re-register over. Don't try to find out why you're not registered. Don't try to find out what happened because you're wasting time.
Right.
Just go in and re-register to vote. And please, if you go in Texas, if you go online to register, you cannot submit it online. You have to print it and send it in. So Texas does not allow online registration.
And if somebody tells you to print it, send it in, and send your registration card, don't do it. You don't need to do all that. Just send the information in. This is how critical this is. And they coming up with all kind of, I almost cuss, and it's early. With all kind of stuff right now, and we want to make sure we nip this in the bud.
And one of the things that I found out on Sunday, because my sister is disabled and she's not able to go to the poll. So I was going to do the absentee voting for her. And the guy was saying, if you can get her to the poll, do not do the absentee voting because those applications are getting lost. People are calling and saying, okay, I mailed in an absentee voter application 2 weeks ago and I haven't heard anything. And then when they go to look for that application, it's not to be found. So if there's any way possible, you can take someone that's disabled or whatever to the polls and go early because then they don't have to stand in line. If they're handicapped or disabled, they can go to the front of the line and they don't have to prove they're handicapped. They don't have to prove that they're disabled. They can go directly to the front of the line and they will be admitted. But if you have to send in the application, check.
Right.
Continuously check to make sure that they've received it.
Right. We just have to stay on top of this. So, Jason, let me ask you a question because you are young, good looking. I got a coupon for you. You don't know what that means. But anyway, Jason, you're a young, good looking Black man. And I would like to speak to you in reference to why is it so hard and what is it about you Black men, young Black men who can't see, I don't know, I can't even say see past the stars or see past your nose, or what is it that you're not catching on to that this man could care less about you? But before you say that,
right,
I was looking at you could register to vote if you were a felon or you had one back in the day, but you served your time as a probation, you've done whatever they told you to do, you've completed everything, then you can vote. Then I got mad because number 45 ain't completed. Shut up. Ain't completed nothing, but he's able to run for the highest job in the U.S. Right. What is your views? Why are your peers? What? Tell me what you think. You don't know why they not acting right.
But what do you think?
It's a great question. I really think that this comes down to the success of women. I think that there's a lot of young men that possibly feel left behind or less than thought of. I'm happy to see the burgeoning or the arrival of women's success. We see the potential of a female president. Arguably the greatest stars, international stars, are Beyonce and Taylor Swift, two women. The greatest talk show hosts, Oprah Winfrey and Tamron Hall, or even Kelly Clarkson. And so women are really succeeding. And I get a sense that the Democratic Party has championed women's rights. We've even seen for the last 8 years at Trump's first inauguration, the Me Too movement come around. We saw the Women's March. And so I wonder if there is a sense that the Democratic Party has championed women, and so now these men feel less than thought of or maybe forgotten about. That could be something that's going on.
But okay, so that's a good thought a little bit, but how do we I'm not a man, so I don't know, but how do you think that a woman cannot do the job because
All the
You
time.
had or you have a mother, a sister, a auntie who have shown you that women can multitask,
Yes.
do whatever it is. We're not going to blow up the country because we don't feel good today, but we know how to make adjustments. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the part that aggravates me with the young men. Then they're not thinking, um, I could do this and Trump could do this and Trump is an idiot. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna say some of the things, but he is an idiot because Trump could go in and touch a woman, and 30 years later they might say something about it.
Mhm.
But if you touch this woman 5 minutes later,
Right.
you're going to jail.
Right.
Because
Right.
there's no ifs, ands, and buts. Actually, you're looking at that girl too hard. See you later, bye. Now I got to go
Exactly.
get a lawyer and all that good stuff just to figure out, hey, he didn't do anything. He was only looking at her, or he spoke to her in a good morning, good afternoon. So how could we get into your peer's head that buying a pair of tennis shoes for $500 and you can't even pay your light bill, you can't even buy your children nothing to eat? How do we get that in your peers?
I think we talk about the voting as an example. So you
Yeah.
compare $500 shoes to voting, which is absolutely free. That's free 99. Uh,
Right, right,
you
right.
you can walk. You go to the polls, and not only is it free, but it is something that you can do in a matter of minutes. As a matter of fact, you can vote for free quicker than you can
Pay for
and
them shoes.
cheaper than you can go to the mall and buy some tennis shoes.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so that's the short-sightedness that I think you're witnessing or observing of many men. I think of many of the electorate. There's a short-sightedness that persons or people maybe are voting on one topic. They're looking at one thing, and they're saying that for this one thing, I'm going to vote. If I can put this in popular
Right.
culture, it's almost like Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Okay, so in
Mhm.
popular culture, these two guys are on the opposite. They're at odds with one another. And if you're in the Drake camp, you're not in the Kendrick Lamar camp. If you're in the Kendrick Lamar camp, you're not in the Drake camp. And so if let's say if you're in the Kendrick Lamar camp, if Drake puts out I'm sorry, if Kendrick Lamar puts out a bad song, you
Mhm.
don't switch camps. You still just say, "Hey, I'm not down with that one. This one didn't hit like the last one," but I'm not going to switch camps entirely. But what we see in politics is the switching of camps. We see that there's one issue that people will say, this isn't good enough for me, and therefore I'm going to vote for the other party. And so that's the short-sightedness that we're seeing the effect of. Now, I can't explain why, but it does seem to be that with politics, maybe there's not quite as much sensical nature in person's decisions or decision making.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, or have there been any discussion among your peers, young men within a certain age range, on why they just do not support a female being president?
There is no discussion. It's really unspoken, and this is the troubling factor that I think you think about 4 years ago. It was culturally unpopular to support Donald Trump. Now that culturalism has shifted, and so it's not as frowned upon to support Donald Trump, even though I think he's worse now than he was then. And so I think what we're dealing with now is a lot of just, what we saw is that people voted nonetheless for Donald Trump 8 years ago. And so I think we're experiencing the same thing now, is that there's something going on that people aren't talking about.
Yeah.
And I love that we're having this conversation, because the conversation really is what develops people's thought process. It helps people to realize whether they're thinking about something adequately or improperly. And so I think really it begins with a discussion. It begins with, as men, as one another, asking one another, hey, man, like, what's going on? I think, like, I've talked to a couple of guys. The most troubling thing I've heard from men, and men, typically black men, tend to support, when they support Trump, or they even consider it, it's because they have bought into the idea that Trump is going to help Black people more than the other candidates.
And
Or
do they say how? I hear
Right.
that, but do they
Thank
say how?
you. How?
they
Right.
don't. And I test them on this, and there's no explanation. But nonetheless, again, they're short-sighted enough that they're not willing enough to look deeper into explaining that thought.
Now,
Um,
does that bother you that they're not able to express themselves on why they feel like he will do more? Because I'm just trying to understand, how do that dialogue get started if you're saying they're not talking about it? How do you get them to talk about it?
well,
Say
I
that.
think there,
Cassandra,
and maybe I don't talk about it because I think sometimes it's part of the niceties. You don't want to get into a debate with somebody that you're trying to be friendly with, but maybe
Mhm.
it's worth digging deeper into. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone with a gentleman the other day who clued me in that he was still weighing whether he wanted to support Kamala Harris. And this is a Black man, and I was, I'm dumbfounded. To me, the evidence is clear. I think back to when the Black Lives Movement, that was enough for me. Black Lives Matter movement took place, and Donald Trump sent National Guard troops on Black people, this Black people, to throw them in jail for exercising their First Amendment right. But that same president did not do anything for the mostly white persons who rioted the Capitol on January the 6th.
January 6th, exactly.
Exactly.
And so, that to me is just evidence enough right there to show you that this Trump villainizes Black folks. That it doesn't matter what he's saying on the campaign trail now. The evidence shows his actions have revealed who he is and how he.
Exactly.
But even on his campaign, I'm sorry,
go
Shirley,
ahead.
but even on his campaign, he telling you,
He take coming right on.
he coming out and telling you, young men, I almost said something, telling you young men that buy my shoes. Yeah, that's what y'all like to do. And
Stereotyping. And they
yeah,
follow for it.
y'all like him because now he's a felon, and that's what you like. Who in the
I can
God?
relate to
Wow.
him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
He said the
how do you
felon
get
part.
your head to understand that this man want to be a part of me? I'm only a felon because maybe I did do something wrong, but you said, that's all I know how to do. You have downgraded our Black men and brown men
And don't
to
forget that he mentioned about, oh, I created a lot of Black jobs. And you know what he was referring to.
exactly.
But I have a question for the ladies, because Linda and I have been hearing this a lot, and you chime in too, Jason, if you can expound on this. Linda and I have been talking to, because Linda has a grandson within that age, 25, 26, between 25 and 30. And we talk to a lot of young men in that age. Their major thing for not supporting Kamala is because she's a
Kamala.
district Kamala. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's because of her job as a district attorney some time ago. That's her experience. But today I was listening to a program on MSN or one of those news channels, and it was a panel of women who said they could not support her, because she put their men away, their Black men away. And that was my first time ever hearing that from a woman's perspective. We hear it from a lot of, and these were not young women. These were not between that 25 and 30-year age. These were, I'm gonna say these women were like between 40, 50. And so how do you all ladies feel about that? Because, and another thing that they were saying is that because she was a district attorney, that her views and her issues on crime are controversial.
I want to respond.
No. But at the same time, she created programs that help
Okay.
people as they come out of jail. And so that helps the community. That helps those who were falsely incarcerated, or even if they did do something wrong, they did their time and they come out, and then there's help there for them.
Exactly.
And I also want to say is they're going by what they hear other people say.
Right.
That's already been debunked. It's already been proven what they put out there is not true. And
Right.
for me, if she did do that, it was her job
Exactly.
to put you in jail if you
Right.
committed a crime. That's what her
Exactly.
job is to do. And for
Right.
me, I don't know everything about this woman and what she's done, but I don't think the things that she's done on the negative side that people don't like can compare to what this man is doing out in public.
Or either, or not, nor does it negate the good things that she's doing.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't
But
compare to the good things that she's doing.
Yes, sir.
see the thing about like just the woman and the man, like men never respected women being in power.
Right.
Say that.
So that it has a lot to do with that too.
And it's intimidation.
Yeah.
But the thing of it, her
They don't want to
question,
take rules from women. That's just
they don't. But her question was for us women, we crossing out Jason for a minute, but you still got Jason. But for the women
Mhm.
who talks against her, it's absolutely crazy. Because for one thing, if my son goes to jail, he does the time, and you're saying when you get out, I have a program for you. You just help me not go to jail because I'm going to kill him when he get out.
There
But
you go.
you help my community.
Right.
When you look at everything that she did, and it wasn't no 1,500 people and men and all that kind of stuff. For one, we as women always carried the household. We always carried the household. So she said, if you don't do the crime, you won't be. Okay, so absolutely right.
Y'all group time. Forgive me,
So,
Kamala.
so if you come, if you do just what she just said, the crime you got to do the time. Now
right.
I'm in there, and most of them who come out choose to go back. Let me
That's
say
right.
so she didn't say, okay, I done put you in and you stay in, and when you come out, you do something else and you come back, I'll be waiting for you. She didn't say that. She said to your black men, your brown men who did the crime, she said, now I got something for you. And I'm going to train you and put you in this program so you could be a better person.
Yes.
So why aren't we, as a mother or auntie or sister, just recognizing her for that instead of listening to a man who say, oh, she done put all y'all men in jail. It did not happen the way they did. And it's that Sharilyn said, that's her job. But her job as a good person said, I'm going to help you.
I have to do this just like a parent. You punish your child. It's repercussions to this.
Exactly.
There's a lesson
But
for
you know
this.
how many African American guys doing like the worst crimes? Like just because they African American, she's African American, that don't mean you don't get punished.
It does not mean that. Absolutely. You don't get a pass.
That's just crazy.
You don't get a
have to
pass.
get punished, like regardless
Wrong
of
is wrong.
white or black.
What about Trump who get 5 men executed for something they didn't even do?
Didn't do it. Just the color of my skin. So why didn't we compare those two things?
Right.
Okay, so he's putting them in jail, and she's saying, if I put you in jail, I'm going to get you a program and get you out and become a better human being. So why don't we compare just those two right there? We don't have nowhere
and not to mention all those crooks that Trump pardoned when he was president. And
there you go.
List of
Yeah.
bad criminals that he pardoned.
So,
and then right now he's promising to pardon anybody who took part in the insurrection.
Anybody who's against him, he already telling y'all they're finna put all y'all in jail, or I'm gonna have the police to whoop all y'all butts.
And a prime example of that was January 6th, when they called him and told him that they had Pence and that Pence was in trouble. What was his response?
So what? That
was his response.
And that's why he has this other idiot running with him, because he's already said, whatever you say and however we do with the voting, I got your back. You say, don't say it, I'm going to say, okay, don't say it.
He got a yes man.
And he proved that.
That's right.
Because they asked him several times about the January 6th. And he said, well, let's move on and talk about the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jason, hold on. You come on anytime. But let me just say this. Now, we just had the hurricane, Helena or Helen, whoever.
Right.
She show up a whole lot of things. And that idiot went to Georgia and he did a GoFundMe to raise money to help the people out. Now, listen to this. He did a GoFundMe. He did raise approximately $4 million, if I'm not correct, somewhere in that ball game. We'll just say three to make sure I don't go over or under. But he raised that money. Now, he didn't include no charity where it was going. The people only going to get probably 10%, if I'm not mistaken, of the money. So that means if you raise $4,000, they only gonna get $120,000. That other money went to who? Trump.
In his pocket.
But he had his campaign person, manager name on it. So when that money come in and they divide that money up, that money goes to Trump campaign, which he is going to jail. I don't care what y'all say. He going to jail, and I pray about it every night. He going to jail, and he is leaving that money to his family. Is that
He's
fair?
a crook. He's a crook.
He's a real crook. He's
doing it in everybody's face, and they don't see it.
But you can never tell anything good that this man has done.
Cassandra said, like you said, I can shoot someone in the middle of Central Park.
You so right.
This man showed his true face.
Yes.
But you know, see, 45 is a master manipulator. Like
very much so, Starr.
He's obsessed with making business deals and all of that. He's not for the people or for the. He's not even. He don't like the African Americans or white people. He just like himself.
That's it.
He just like to win.
His own people.
He just like to win.
Yeah,
he's like a bully. He just want to win.
Like he just having a infatuation. Like he's obsessed with whether it's good or bad. He just want to be different. He want to win. He want to just show the world. Yeah, like
I could not wait on. I heard it on the news last night that his wife has written her memoir.
What?
And she just as bad as he is.
It was coming
Malena, whatever her name is.
And it was a tell-all memoir.
Oh.
I took it up this morning, got on Amazon, and it has been pulled.
Because she ain't told. You know.
Who's she telling on?
I mean, but she likes money too. It's no telling what she was going to say, because she likes those get-rich schemes too.
She got to look what she with. Now he don't want the immigrants to come over, and you married to one.
Right.
Y'all make it make sense for me on that. I can't do that. You have not had one president that I could think of. I only went to school for a minute, but there is not one president that I can think of that have already had 3 wives, 5 children from different baby mamas. You just had this crazy girl up there talking crazy with you, and you had your hand, you brought her hand right down into your private parts. Y'all, I see it all. I'm like, so who don't see this? I know I'm not the only one. Now I might be crazy, and I'll go ahead and admit to it, but I ain't that crazy. I ain't by myself. Other people have to see the wrongdoing of this man. What is this man telling my young black men that they cannot comprehend that this is a lie he's telling us?
And they're looking at it. And
Jason, help.
Looking and listening.
And you can't see it.
He don't care what he say.
You can't see it.
He don't care what he do. He do it all up in the public.
Yeah.
But I was not surprised that memoir was pulled for whatever reason. No matter what she had in it, I was not surprised that it was pulled. Not surprised at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone said that local elections count too, and that's right. Yeah. We have to, at the local level, that's very important too, and people fail to realize that. The elections at the local level, oh my God, could help so much, but people are so focused on the president. They don't look at the mayors, the senators. They don't look at all that stuff. But I understand that our focus right now is on this presidential race. I want to know too, Starr. I'm not sure of what your age is, but I know that you're younger than us. But that age group, I want to say 25, 35, maybe even 38. They don't vote because they don't feel like
Oh,
it matters.
okay.
Can you chime in on that and try to explain to us or help us to understand why?
But before you answer the question, Star, we have to take a quick break. It's gonna be so quick. Before you blink your eye, we're gonna be back. But we need to continue.
Okay.
Be right back.
Okay.
Hey, this is your girl Linda Scott. I am here to introduce you to Linda S. Jury 1426. Now, some of you know me, some of you don't. But if you don't know me, get to know me. Check out and scan the QR code below. Look at the inventory. I made this. God created. I put it together. See you soon. Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
Welcome back. You can go ahead and answer her
Welcome
question.
back. You need a repeated, Star?
Yeah. Repeat it
Okay.
again.
So I'm just throwing out an age group. I'm thinking 25 to 38, maybe. They feel like their vote doesn't count. It doesn't matter for them to go out and vote. So they don't vote. And that's given the opponent a vote. If you don't go out and vote for the better person or the person we feel is the lesser of the two evils, then you're actually supporting the person that's the worst person to get in office. So I just wanted to know if you can give us some input on why that age group feel like it's not important or it doesn't matter to vote.
Because it's like in the world we live in today, it's so many distractions, like the music, the drugs, the just the confusion. 45 going to jail, and all of it. Like now, it's like, come on, how he can go to jail and do this? So people looking like he gonna win anyway, or they just feel that they're wasting their time. Because I don't, I spoke to I'm voting, you know, because I think Pamela, Pamela, I
Kamala.
think Pamela, yeah, I think she will be a great candidate because she's a woman, and women are more nurturing, and she's gonna nurture, she's gonna nurture the state. She's gonna treat the world like it's her own. And I really believe that, people should really give her a chance and vote. But like my age group, it's just so many distractions, and young people, they don't have a lot of patience,
Y'all don't have a lot of patience. I don't mean y'all no harm, but y'all don't have a lot of patience, nor do y'all have um, a tomorrow plan.
right?
Y'all have a right
Yeah.
now plan.
Today.
And yeah, to give it to me right now.
But when
And-
Obama was running, when Obama was running, it was a
The house.
lot of young people
okay, so
voting.
but listen, okay, now listen at the two. They both are black, and one is a male and one is a female. And the power of the male, yeah, we all gonna jump on that. We all said yes. We're gonna do it. We done. I don't care if he's good or not. Black, we going for the brown man. Why can't we have the same energy that we put on Obama for this woman who is exercising all her rights to do the right thing with us?
Well, I think that's a good point you bring up
Because
though,
look,
because
it's not even about her. Look who she's going up against. It's him. It's like a whole distraction with him, and people just don't want to vote at all. Some young people just don't want to
Mm.
vote at all
So or
because they
am I
feeling it's not even her. It's not about her with the young people not voting. You know, it's about him. Like how you can do all of this, say all of this, and
okay?
they let him still
I feel
run.
that. I feel that. I
That's what
understand.
people is saying now. It's not even about her. See, with Obama and who he was running, it wasn't all that chaos. And see, this man went to jail. This man had this big old riot. Like people just not taking it serious.
well,
I
and so
understand.
when Obama was president, that
Let's
was
talk.
when, when Obama was president, that really was the beginning of the social media era.
Right.
Yeah.
That was kind of the pilot program on utilizing YouTube or whatever platform. now what we see is that it's a mature process that so much to the point social media is mature, so much to the point that now we can other countries are utilizing it for misinformation. So it really is the homegrown hot spot for politics now. I think culturally we might be confusing likes with votes, or we translate what translates to a like on social media
Right.
to what should be a vote at the ballot box.
Right.
And so that could be something that we're seeing with, okay, we're seeing a lot of memes, funny or not. Well, they might be humorous, but they're not funny, from Donald Trump's commentary. And it gets likes on social media. And so we could be seeing that people are transferring that idea, oh, if I like them on social media because it was a funny clip, then I'll just do the same thing at the ballot box.
But I think also too, society has taught us to question. A female always has to prove herself.
Yeah.
Over and over again. I work for petroleum industry, and people, the men will speak over me because I was soft-spoken. And then once I did come up with it, I have to come up with another example, where a guy just gets a pat in the back and says, yes, it's great. And that's what I keep hearing, the same thing in her case, Kamala.
Yeah.
What has she done? What is she? What is it? What is she doing? What is this? And it's like, she already has answered all those questions. She has already proven over and over what she has done for all America, not just the people that look like her, all America.
And
I agree.
That's what she said she would be
record.
The president of all. But Jason, let me ask you this question, and it's a mature question, but you're a mature man. So why in the hell do we have to sleep with every man to get to where we need to get to? And her position, I mean, if I heard one more man say that, I'm going to jail because I'm a hidden. I am.
We'll bail you out.
Okay, thank you. How do you sleep with the president and the whatever official, the senator and the congressman, and you're gonna become the president of the United States? How do you do that? You can't.
Right.
You can't. How do you? I can't get inside of the head of men who say that.
And by the way, if you go to jail, I'll make sure that you get into Kamala Harris's anti-recidivism program.
Thank you, because I'm done. But how do you handle that? Jason, when your peers say that around you, if you heard that, how do you justify what they just said?
There is no justification. I think it's absolutely wrong, and it's double standard. I mean, men
that part.
and are proud about it and high five about it, but then want to make it something negative when it comes to a female.
I think if a male states that, as it says something about him, he doesn't value women. Period.
And I wanted to comment on Starr, what she stated, and also on Hilda. What Hilda said, women, we have to go twice as hard as a man. That's just on the platform. You have female rappers saying that. You just hear it across the board. Women, we just have to prove that, we could do this, that, and the other. And it's totally unfair. And I think this is the situation here. Then what Starr said, that it's about Dumb Donald and what he's doing. I call him Dumb Donald because I can't stand him.
Okay.
Dumb Donald, they're looking at, if this clown can do all this is a joke. Yeah. Why should I even waste my time? So I can understand where she's coming from, because that's also like some people that look at people that's supposed to be Christians. Well, if she's a Christian and she's doing that, why would I want to go to church?
Right.
So I can understand what you're saying, because you have men and women that are out there that can't vote because they have a felon against them or they're a felony. But then they're looking at, oh, well, he got all this against him and he can run for president. Man, that's a joke. And y'all a joke. Y'all clowns for believing that your vote is going to count. And so I do understand where she's coming from, but we have to somehow or another try to get them to understand That's the reason we're going to vote, to let
Right.
them know
Right.
this is not acceptable and we're going to do something about it. But we need to figure out how can we reach those that has a block, because it's a block. It is
But you know
definitely
what?
a block.
To say that as well, Bridget, you could be a felony. Yeah, I mean, have a felony against you, but did you? And I'm going with what you said because I agree 1,000%. But you too could run for president if you do everything that was supposed to be done. Did you complete your probation? Did you pay whatever fines? Did you do all of these things? These are the things that the people don't allow you to put in your head to say, oh,
Hmm.
I can do better. I just went to jail one time and I did my probation. I did whatever they told me to do. Now I am back in society and I am a good person. We I know
Education.
that when these boys go to jail, the first thing they do when they sign them out to go back out into the world, what they don't say and be good, enjoy the rest of your life. They say, I see you soon.
And
What?
that's the planet in their head.
Exactly. And so when they planted that in your head, there was nobody, well, not nobody, but there were not enough people on the
All
outside
right.
to say, hey, you're not going back in.
You're not going back. You
You're
don't have
going
to
to be a
accept
better
that.
person. There is one person that we do know that said, hey, I got a program for you. That's where we are right now. We have to, I think,
And
anybody, go
sorry, I
ahead.
was going to say, and the other one says, I want you in jail because that makes me money. Because if
Yeah.
that's a business,
Because
Yep.
the prison is the biggest money making
Making
system it is.
it
it
is.
is.
The prison.
Go ahead, Hilda.
No, go ahead. No, that's it.
That Bridget said earlier about the local election. And I heard a Baptist minister say this. Kamala needs an amen corner.
Amen.
She needs somebody to say amen light. She
Yes.
needs to say somebody to say amen floor. You know how the Baptist preacher when he's preaching and nobody says anything and he will say amen light. If y'all won't say anything, then I'm having the light to shout out.
Okay.
If we do not put the people in the right places in the local elections, she can write every bill. She can sign every bill. But
And then that happens.
when it gets to the Senate, if there's nobody there to support her, and that's how important the local elections are. She needs people to support her to get those bills through. So she needs some amen lights. She needs an amen corner, and that's how important the local elections are.
Yes.
So it's that is important.
They are more important
Yeah, more important really.
than the
Because if she doesn't
president.
have anybody to support her to help her get those bills through,
Mhm.
she can write them all day long.
All day.
Sleep,
Exactly.
She could suggest them. She could roll over and go, oh, I got an idea. Go back to sleep, honey, because it ain't going to work.
to help
That's
her
it.
to get those bills and
Exactly.
they have to be
Exactly.
passed.
And we have enough young men such as Jason, ladies and gentlemen. Jason is one of the future senators, congressmen. He's somewhere up in there.
Hey,
He's up there. He's up there. But
Thanks.
he is that person, and we need more of these young men to not only believe in themselves, but we need to believe in them as well. Now, a lot of our young men who we quote thugs, they too are looking for someone to embrace them. And instead of saying, boy, you ain't nothing but old thug, come here. I would say, well, we on here. But anyway, there is the things that they need. And I can say this because I have boys and I have grandsons and nephews. And I would want them to know whatever it is that granny, mama, auntie needs to help you, I'm going out there to get the help for you. We have to learn that today's young men, I don't know where y'all come from, Jason. I don't know, but we still have to be here for you.
yes.
And then that young man who we said is a thug, it's only somebody's son, nephew, brother who needs a hug.
Mm.
who
Right.
needs someone to say, yes, you can,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, you
Encouragement.
will. But instead, I could hold on to the negative part and just say you a thug. Why?
Right, and that's going to be really the beauty of electing Kamala Harris, and I believe Kamala Harris will win. I do believe
Yes,
that.
sir. I co-sign that.
Me
I believe
too.
that we're
Yeah,
tired
Me
of
I
too.
do.
Donald Trump and his
Yeah.
antics.
You know,
Well,
but one of the things we have to know, when these kids get out of prison, they have been beaten down. So they have really, really been beaten down in prison. So it's going to take a lot of us to build them back up.
well, and that's what. But that, when Kamala Harris wins,
Yes.
That's
a
right.
Kamala Harris presidency signals that hope and promise. It will inject hope and promise into young black men and
Mm.
and it will indicate to the general public that black people and Asian Americans, the AAPI community, that we are kings and queens. And so that's really what the election of Kamala Harris suggests to black people and really to the general population is that it is going to up the level of respect. It is also going to up the level of expectation amongst ourselves as black men to perform well. We'll say, hey, you know what? Now I can do it. People view me as somebody that is expected to perform well because now we have a black president. And so I think there's so much to be insinuated, if not suggested, from a Kamala Harris presidency. And that's why I think it's really important for her to win because of the residual effects like those.
But I agree with you 1,000,000%, Jason. But I also have to say to you, you got not only to push Kamala, Madam President, we have to go back and push our senators and our Congress people. We have to let them know the importance. We have to do like a civic class all over again. You have to know that the vice president don't do nothing but what the boss ladies say do.
That's right.
So if she says sit down there and bring me a glass of water at 5 o'clock, that's what you
That's
have
what
to.
you're gonna do.
You can't do anything else. If the senators and all those people are below her, when she, as we already stated, when she said, "Okay, I got this idea," it ain't going until we get the right people to support her.
That's right.
And what I see that she is doing, I think, what's her name, Lindsay Cheney, and isn't that her name?
Yeah.
When she came on board today, and these are Republicans who are not afraid to stand up to Donald Trump. Oh,
Dum
I
dum.
his name, but anyway,
Dum dum.
who are not afraid to stand up for him. We have a chance to be a better country, like we used to be, because we're not going back. So we have a chance of bettering ourselves.
Right.
How could I? And I heard him say, "Rich or poor, you could buy a home." How could you buy a house being poor?
Really?
How could these things happen? How could you?
He's
How could you
a
mess with
salesman.
my mind?
He's
Go ahead.
dumb. He's
What you want
dumb.
to hear?
Because he's going by just like him going to jail and he's promoting you can go to jail and be a felon and be like
That's right.
we know that we know he's a president and he know all the rules and he pay people he pay people off, but in some African American minds they're thinking that they can do the same thing that he doing and being president, you
He's
know.
promoting blue collar
Yeah, he's
crime.
promoting
That's
that.
it. You're right.
Ignorant.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
right.
he's promoting that. So they
Ignorant.
like some guys out there voting for him because they saying, yeah,
I can do
yeah,
that.
I could do that. Boy, that boy don't went to jail. You'll be surprised how the criminal mind think and how
Oh yeah,
people,
they're ignorant, baby.
yeah,
That's
how
that's
people
ignorant.
love crime. There's a lot of people love
And
crime and they love getting away. So by him going to jail, they saying, I'm gonna
Yes.
They
vote
feel
for
like he
that
getting
boy. Yeah, so they voting.
he one of
Trust
us.
me. Trump, he's just like I said,
Okay. But to my white, my brown, my black people, y'all can't do what Trump do.
Thank
Can't
you.
do it.
right.
You don't have enough money and you ain't stole enough money.
Right.
Okay, so let's get that part straight. So if I jump off this bridge, I'm gonna drown. He jumps off the bridge, somebody gonna be there to pick him up because
Bingo.
they are thieves as well. I don't have that kind of funding, and neither do you. Because if we all did, we wouldn't be sitting right here today.
Mm.
So he is different. He is straight out a liar. He has no clue about nothing but money. If you steal $400 million from your own daddy, what would I do to you? How could you justify, oh, well, he just took a little bit from his dad, but he gonna give me some? For real? And he's constantly stealing from you right now as we speak.
Well, in the 2016 election, they found that he stole from his supporters because you know how when you donate, and then there was a little checkbox where it said one time or monthly.
Yep.
And he took all their money.
And he's still taking money.
He's still taking
Yeah, with the GoFundMe he just did.
Exactly. He's still taking money, and he's
In
making
your
the
face.
person around him look supposedly look bad. He's still on that Joe Biden kick.
Boy,
Joe
bye.
ain't doing this low, lazy, sleepy Joe, and Joe Biden ain't running against you no more. Well, Kamala, if you say her name one more time incorrectly, I'm going to jail again. But I can't get over the fact that anytime you ask someone who is supporting Trump, tell me what he did or what he's doing for you that make you say you're going to vote for him. And then I would have to say, okay, well, then that's a good reason.
But you know what it is when you ask young people that, and I've asked them several, and somebody that I birthed in the world told me this. He's going to make me money. When he was
He's going to make them money?
It's either hate
Yeah,
or
because
money.
that little stimulus check. That little stimulus check.
My 401k grew 50%. And I tried to tell him, yeah, your $2 grew 50%, so that meant you had $4.
So wait, he said his 401k grew 50%.
The money that he has, he said that his 401k grew 50%, and I believe him, it did.
And Dumb Donald did it?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, he didn't do it for him. Dumb Donald did it for his rich people. But people who had a little bit of money, they benefited. Those people got 150%. You got 50%. So those people got millions of dollars.
And you just got two.
And you got two. You dummy. You know? And that's what they think. They're looking at their little bitty accounts grew a little bit. And they think Trump did that expectantly for them.
And so like on the money piece, go ahead, Bridget.
Go ahead, Jason.
No. I just wanted to know what are other reasons that people are giving to vote for this man, because I cannot have a conversation with someone that's voting for him because I might end up in jail.
Right.
And that's the only reason I've gotten Bridget.
Okay.
So I don't fault the Republican. I don't fault people for voting for Trump for one reason, because I'll be honest.
Okay.
When I voted for Obama for primarily one reason.
Right.
Yes.
He was going to
Probably
be
all of us did. Okay.
Now there was some reasons, some behind that I could support or substantiate my support for Obama, but primarily I was a one reason guy. Hey, he's black. He's got my vote.
Right.
And so I won't necessarily fault people for voting on one issue alone. But it is important for us to realize that really there's a conglomerate of issues that go into a presidency that we all need to evaluate. It should not be just one thing. And so I can understand that there are people, in the same way that I voted for Obama because he was black, that there are white people who want to vote for Trump because he's white.
No.
Why he want to vote for him?
No.
Or that there are black men
Jason.
who are considering voting for him because he's a man and not a woman.
Miss Lynn don't mean you know, huh, babe? There are white people out there that are saying that what did he do? They only listening to the craziness that he did. Not that because he was a white man or is a white man. No, it is a white man. None of these reasons are legit. There's not one of them who could say what he did for them other than the people who are million billionaires. Those are the people. Now, I ain't kicking them because they got that money. And if I had $1 billion, I'm going with a tax break. Okay, that's understandable. But the little people, such as ourselves, we don't have not one thing that we can say that Donald Trump did to make us go and vote for him. Now,
Right.
for your case, as for Obama, I think all of us say, hey, black man, yeah, we vote and we in. And yes, we did probably say he got our back. However, we missed the civic class where we forgot, hey, what we just said, it took the senators and everybody else, and everybody in there said they were there to make sure he didn't have one term, but he had two. He did do what he could do, but you stopped him.
Right.
Just as the same thing
Yes.
with Kamala on the border. Okay, so her and Biden was getting ready to do whatever, and Trump said, "Ring-a-ling-a-ling, don't do nothing. I got it."
Mhm.
So now you did that to make her look bad.
Mhm.
So we doing and telling everything about this man, and he's still doing whatever
He
he's doing,
wants to do.
and you still got it in your head that he's doing all that for us.
But one thing I want people to understand, because I'm so
No,
tired,
that's right.
and I'm gonna scream. What is she doing about this? She's been in there 4 years and she didn't do this and she didn't do that because it wasn't her job to do it. It was her job to do whatever President Biden allowed her to do.
Right.
And what's so funny, they never question what any of the other vice presidents done.
Thank
So
you.
why is it such a big deal now? You want to know? Well, she said she's gonna do it when she's president, and even Dumb Donald said it. Well, she said what she's gonna do when she's president. Why didn't she do it then? You idiot! If you knew how it worked, you knew she couldn't.
Well, and
Big
then look at
dummy.
She was not the president. She was
Oh,
the
I
vice
can't stand him. Lord help me.
president. As the vice president, she does have things that she's responsible for.
But who gave it to her? Who
Look,
gave her
wait a minute.
responsibility?
And look at Trump, though. He
Yeah, what-
was the president. He held
didn't.
the office. And what the hell did he do?
Did he do?
And
Right.
he still doesn't have a health care. He has concepts.
Yeah, right. He got concepts. So when he said concepts, girl, I fell on the floor. Who the devil is gonna go with
9
concepts?
years and he still has concepts.
Right,
Office
right.
has concepts.
Concepts,
I mean,
concepts. Yeah,
give me a break.
I don't know. Oh, geez, I got a headache. Jason, you're here to help Auntie Linda figure out how to help my nephews.
Mhm. Yes.
So before we end the show, please tell us what to do.
Please tell me what to tell my son.
Vote for Kamala Harris.
Vote for Kamala Harris.
That's it. But I think you're right. I think education is key. I think just bringing up some of these high points that we've talked about may tip the scales just enough to lend them to give their vote to Kamala Harris more than otherwise if we don't talk to them. And so I think when we're at our dinner tables or we're in the car or we're just chatting on social media, just throw out these few very, very good points that would persuade somebody to cast their vote for Kamala Harris.
We have 2 minutes left in the show. And one of the things that I want to say is Linda and I want to get everyone's perspective on we don't have less than a month, I know, before we vote. If you would like to come on and give us your we want 8 different age groups, women, men. Come on and tell us what you think about not 45, but no, it's 45, Kamala, and give us your perspective on the election.
And I think that's good to let some people that feel like Dumb Donald is the right person. I would like to hear what they have to say, honestly, because I don't understand.
Right. Yeah, I don't understand either. But listen, here's the thing. This group of people that is on here tonight and who've been on here previously, we need to get our people to vote.
Yeah.
We October the 7th is the last day that you can vote.
And 1 week.
Vote. And we don't have a whole lot of time. October 30th, if I'm not mistaken, is the last day that you could get your name change and all that kind of stuff. If I'm not mistaken, but if I am mistaken, please forgive me because I'm getting older. But go to canivote dot
You
or
say vote.org.
yeah,
vote.org.
all of those, anything that say can I vote. The state of Florida, the state of Texas, and now the state of Nebraska, we are such, and Georgia, I apologize, and Georgia. We need all of you guys to go and make sure you're in place. Instead of putting up new voting facilities, they putting in bulletproof glass and all that kind of stuff. What kind of mess and what kind of world we living in? We
Wasting
got
money on foolishness because 45.
at 45, but
It's
we
just
have to make sure that we vote that is so overwhelming with numbers that he cannot say, "No, I still they cheated." You can say it all you want to, sir, but the numbers prove that you lost. And just like you couldn't say it, your boy couldn't say it the other night, you lost. 45, you lost. Ask me, you lost. You lost. So we have to make sure, people, that we get you out there. We got to get you to vote. There is there anything that we can do. Please call us. Can we send somebody to pick you up, to take you where you need to be? But let's do it, and be careful on your mailing in to make sure everything is done properly. Anything you didn't put a dot over your I, that's a kickback.
Yep.
So we have to make sure everything is checked. So with all that being said, we love you. October 7th is the last day to register to vote and to get all our changes and all that stuff. Let's just do it early so we can go out and early vote. And we love you. What else?
Anybody in the Sugar Land, Missouri City, you ever need a ride to the poll? Just hit us up on the Go to Square podcast on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, and we will try our darndest. We can't take everybody, but we will try our darndest to get you a ride to the poll.
And Hilda say, don't waste your vote. Let them hear you. So, hey, let's do just that. And by us being heard is that pencil that we use at the voting turns. Jason, thank you. And we look forward to you as our next Congress and whoever that is you running for president. And I hope I be living. But anyway, we look forward to seeing, and thank you all for joining us.
And Hilda, thank you so much.
So
welcome.
And God, it's that time, but we could have kept going, but we over anyway. But anyway, so go to our YouTube channel, the Golden Square Podcast, and subscribe, and go to our Facebook page, the Instagram, and like us and share. So we look forward to seeing you all on next Thursday. And
if you'd like to be on the show, just let us know on our Facebook page and the Golden Square Podcast, and we'll try to arrange to get you on.
All right.
Talk about your political views. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you next Thursday.
Next Thursday, so I guess we'll be right there, but we'll see y'all soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.